All right. Welcome to topic of the day. We are today discussing our first topic, which is furries. No idea why we chose that topic, but it's that's how the die landed, die rolled,
Landed.
landed. Good
Right
man.
on.
I am Carissa. I am joined by Tom and Brandon.
Hello, I'm Tom.
Hello, I am the other one.
All right, that's good. Thank you. Anything you want to talk about before we begin this topic?
I think we should just get to the meat of it because we're experts in the field.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
I mean, we know everything there is to know about furries. Like,
absolutely. We've done our research, of course,
yeah,
which
Do some stuff
means
in MS Paint, good
yeah.
research.
Oh, I added that to the wheel actually.
Oh, good, they'll
I
see it.
just thought it was a good. You can all take a guess which one that is.
Which
you
one's
see,
the MS Paint one?
we're so lucky to have like a resident artist.
Yeah.
It's just so useful.
All right, so furries, good or bad, Tom?
Uh, I'm gonna go with bad. I'm gonna go with actively against.
All right, wait, how come?
Well, I think it's weird as shit, to be honest.
Fucking racist.
It's like it'd be fine if they were their own little community, but they keep doing stuff like posing with Nazi flags and it's not normal.
No, okay. I think it's I have a very live and let live attitude towards it. I don't really care. The thing I don't really understand is how I get that it's a social taboo, I guess, because it's very often related to sexual things and that it's something sexual. But at the same time, it's like most people who have these, I don't know what to call it. Should we call it weird lifestyles or unconventional lifestyles?
Sexual
Conventional.
kinks.
Yeah, they usually try and bring awareness to it to destigmatize.
Just let
Uh,
me forget it, man.
I
like
don't think furries will ever be destigmatized.
no,
Like,
because
I
they
feel
they
it's
keep
just
going to these
too.
very closed conventions where no one is allowed in
Hmm.
unless they are part of the community and that kind of stuff. They make it into this very secret society type thing, and that's why
Nah,
people are weirded out by it. I
you
think.
see, I've got the opposite thing with that. Like, you see these furries just going out in public. You see them going out like to bars and shit like that, and just interacting with people. And
Are they
I,
not people?
I mean, no, you know what I mean. Like, well,
No,
they
I'm sorry, they're animals.
exactly. Like, I mean, it's for a lot of furries. I'm not sure if for all furries. I've heard some say it's not, but like a lot of furries are like, oh, it's a sexual thing, Then keep it in the bedroom, Like, you don't
Or at
see
least in your
fucking
house.
yeah. Like, there's no reason to spread it around everywhere and do it in public. I mean, maybe that's their thing.
But
Maybe that's part of the whole furry thing. But yeah,
would
so
you equate it to those people that secretly have sex in public and stuff? Like, was it
voyeurs. I think
r
it.
slash
No,
hold the moan?
uh,
I don't know. I feel like r slash hold the moan is. I feel like it's less weird than furries.
how is that less weird?
I mean, they're not doing it in a fursuit, Like,
So
So,
it's the suit you don't like.
so if they went around barking but without a suit on, you'd be fine with it.
no, I'd find that weird. I find the whole animal aspect of it weird. Like,
That's probably what I find weird as well, to be fair.
again, I'm not like against it. I don't think like, oh, furry should be banned or like, I'm not one of those people on the internet. There's an awful lot of furry hate that just seems way over the top and like, oh, kill all furries and shit like that. And it's just, I don't know. I don't have that strong a feeling on it. It's weird. It's fucking weird.
It's
I mean,
weird
do
because
it,
it's
fine.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Okay.
please keep it the fuck away from me. I want no part in it.
Yeah. No. No. I mean, I have a very strong opinion on people. Like, you can do whatever you want, but don't push your agenda on someone else. It's like it's fine that you're gay, but don't like flaunt it in someone's face and then be pissed off if they mock you for it, because they will have their own opinion on it and they might not like it if you're being very flamboyant to them just to be provoking, just to provoke them, to provoke
See,
reaction.
I don't know. I think it's a very different situation to being gay. I feel like the
No,
furry thing is more like it's more of a kink, in it. It's less like being gay is a sexuality. You get me?
yeah, no, I'm not saying that it's about being gay. You can be gay. You can be trans. You can be a furry, whatever. But if you constantly go out of your way to make sure everyone knows and make a big deal out of it to get attention, you should be aware that that will have a negative effect on people. A lot of people don't like it. They don't like being confronted with that kind of, like, something that's different from, I guess you could call it the norm. And I'm probably going to get slaughtered for that. But it's like, if you're like, no matter what it is, it doesn't need to be a sexuality or a gender or a kink or anything. It could be like your political stance. If you're being like very right wing, and you constantly like try and provoke response and start discussing with people about politics at all times, then people will get pissed off at some point and be like, dude, just lay off. And you have to kind of like, you have to basically just anticipate people being like that. Not everyone wants to discuss your right wing politics or agree with you, but at
Yeah,
the same time, you should just like, leave it alone. It's like, oh, there's a guy in a fursuit. I don't care. Why should I care? But if he comes up in my face and starts grinding me, then it's like, okay, let's back off, buddy. This is too
I mean,
much.
Don't know if
the
there are
thing
really
is, though,
cases of that. Let's be fair on that.
surely they'd want to
Of
be
course,
written,
I'm making it into
Exaggerate.
I'm exaggerating to make a point, but it's basically like, this
But
is
then
something
again,
that's,
like from the other side of that, like say you're in a bar or something, or you're out with like maybe you've got kids or something, and you see like two guys dressed up as wolves or whatever, prancing about doing weird shit, like fucking riding each other.
In
I
a
don't know.
pub, this is, yeah.
I don't know.
yeah, bring your kids to a pub.
you-
That's
like,
a
those are furries in public and shit. They do this weird shit. It's not just like it's strange. Aside from the fact that they are just their presence there by itself is very, distracting,
The
very
kids
out
might
of the
like
ordinary.
it.
Uh,
Mascots.
yeah, but
I-
it's like, not all furries are at all times in like full sex mode.
In character.
Yeah, in character. Well, they could be in character, but not in a sexual way. I mean, you can just be
Well, that's just
out
perverse.
out and about in a fursuit, and people might find it interesting and want to take pictures or whatever. And
yeah,
they're not going to hump your leg or anything. It's like, I think it's a lifestyle choice in many cases as well, not just a sexual kink.
I mean, I get that. Yeah, I completely understand that. If you want to go out and about in a fursuit and just walk around in it, like do
Taking
normal
their sights.
day-to-day shit in just a fursuit, dressed as like a fucking wolf or something, and call yourself like Ebon Wolf Blade or some fucking weird name like that,
Nightshade.
then fine. But I mean, I again live and let live, like you said earlier. I don't really have a major problem with it.
Yeah.
It's just at the conventions and shit like that, there is that whole weird angle to the things, like
Mhm.
there's a sexual undertone to it all.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
I don't know. It's
But
like
wouldn't going to a convention with, because now I'm playing devil's advocate here, but if they go to a convention and they keep it very like locked up, like you're not allowed inside to just have a look around. You need to be part of the community to get in. Then wouldn't that technically be in private? Aren't they just keeping their oddities to themselves then?
Kind of like an orgy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
if
I
they
guess
are, but if they are having an orgy, if they booked the entire hotel and not just a hotel room and have an orgy inside the hotel, wouldn't that be keeping it in private technically?
I mean, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think I've got no real problem with that. That's fine. Like, then again, I've got no real problem with the thing in general, with all of it. I mean, I honestly think that if you're going out in a fursuit dressed up as like a dog or something, then you should expect people to be like, huh, that's weird. But a lot of them don't seem to like that. Like, like, huh, that is out of the ordinary. That is definitely weird.
Yeah, but that's the general stigmatization as a counter. It's what I was kind of like. I was on the topic earlier about how you want to have to have your cake and eat it too. It's like you can't really expect everyone to be completely accepting and respecting of, uh, for example, you going out in a fursuit and being completely open about it, and then be taken seriously at an office meeting afterwards. It's like it's one of these. It's a stupid example, and as I said before, I don't have anything against it or anything like that. But it's like if you go if you go in a if you go to the gay pride parade, almost naked, like only covered in like a tiny speedo or something like that, and
And
then
glitter, lots of glitter.
and glitter, of course, and you go around and you of course, yeah, you're being flamboyant because you have this parade and you have fun, and you're supposed to have fun because that's what it's about. It's about being gay and proud of it. But then afterwards, if you're at the same time, if you're CEO of a company and your employees disrespect you and they don't take you seriously anymore, then you can't really cry about it because you made a choice and not everyone will agree with that choice. And I'm not
I mean,
saying you're wrong for going to the gay pride parade and having fun with your friends, but at the same time you need to see how society views that as a whole as well, not just what certain individuals will think of it.
I mean, I think the pride thing's a bad example because that's strong ties to the homosexual community was for years and years and years, like pretty much up until very recently, very stigmatized, very forced to hide in like the shadows. And I think Pride's more of a celebration of people being allowed to come out and be super over the top camp. I feel like that's the cultural connotation of it. Whereas the fur thing, I would say more just like it's like a weird bedroom kink. And then if you do that kink in public, like you said, you should expect ridicule and all that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not everyone agrees with the gay agenda either. I see what you mean. I'm not saying you're wrong because we don't do that here. But at the same time, first of all, wouldn't the furries kind of be in the same boat as the homosexuals were for like few decades ago? In
No.
that if you look at it as a more than just a bedroom kink, that it's a lifestyle choice as well, because
I mean,
a lot of these things that we see as bedroom kinks could be a lifestyle choice as well. Like a it's not just part of a sexual thing, it's also a relationship thing, it's a social thing. I mean, I don't think they go to these conventions only to be in a big fur pile on the floor having an orgy. And a lot of them, I think, don't even do anything sexual other than having these erotic encounters. But at the same time, don't you think they go there to meet like-minded individuals as well? They probably sit down and eat dinners. They probably talk to each other and converse, and they might
I
even
don't know. I
find
think it's kind
love
of
or
all three of them.
romance in these kinds of situations, not just for the sex. It's for because they want to meet other people who are in the same kind of social group as them, but they're a much smaller minority than homosexuals are, so they have a much harder time
mean,
finding that community, and that's why they have these big conventions. And
I honestly think though it's kind of like, I mean, homosexuality isn't a choice at this point. That's pretty much just a given, you know.
yes,
And I feel like being a furry is. I feel like if a furry could have sex with a non-furry, not dressed as like a rabbit or whatever, and still have sex and have fun in that sex. I don't know, maybe they're thinking about fucking dog or some shit. I don't know what fairies think about, but like,
Probably
you know,
another furry, not
another.
a dog.
Oh yeah, it's anthropomorphic animal specifically. That's what separates it from straight up bestiality. You know.
wow,
Uh,
that is harsh.
I mean, if they were animals, it
I
would
mean,
be, but they're not animals.
I mean, the major issue is like the major issue with bestiality is consent. So if they want to have sex with another sentient being that is like, you know, another sentient being that looks like a dog or a cat, but like on two legs and not a dog or a cat, then fuck it. As long as the thing can give consent, I've got no issue with it.
Cool, Tom.
I mean, if it can give consent, I agree. I would still say having sex with an animal is weird, even if it barked for
Oh
yes.
yeah, no, I mean,
Bark once for yes, twice for
Exactly,
no.
like- Exactly. Like,
I mean,
I
no,
still think it's weird.
like,
I'm also, I've been wondering this the entire time. Are these conventions invite only, or do you like apply, or what's going on? Like, do you just rock up on the day? We should not.
The
Do
only
you just rock up on the day in a fursuit and they let you in, or like,
I do think
is
You
there a red
even need a
carpet?
fursuit. Not all furries wear fursuits. Like
That is
you
true.
can see some of them in like just cat ears and a tail.
I think it's oh I don't think I'm not going to I'm going to say what I know. I know that it's a very private thing in most cases. Like they'll book an entire hotel. They won't just book all the conference rooms of a hotel. They'll book the entire hotel. So no one else gets in or out. And everyone has a place to stay within the confines of the hotel. So they
Then
don't
they all
actually
wear
have
masks.
to leave they don't have to leave the establishment for days. Because it's
And
a very
like
private
that.
thing.
It's like a scene out of that Kubrick film. It's all.
But it's like but what I do think about it is that it's the fursuit is also like one of the main advantages of being in a fursuit is of course that you can stay completely anonymous. You don't have to be anyone else but your character. If you want to eat all your meals where you have to remove your mask in your room, then sure, then you can do that probably.
I mean, are these the masked orgies of the modern ages? Are we missing out on this massive untapped market just because they're wearing fursuits?
What's the
Like,
password?
I know.
Orgy.
I know. Also, I know for a fact that that a lot of these things, coincide with other kinks or stuff like that. Like for example, cross dressing. I know a lot of people use fursuits of the opposite gender of what they actually are. So it's like living out a fantasy. And I think the mask thing is what appeals to many, not just that it's about being animalistic. It's more like it's a way to express a sexual fantasy. This is just me taking a guess, of course, but some of these are based on like it's calculated guesses based on facts or things that I've heard or read.
Naturally, we're not applying all of this to all of the furry community. We're just talking about.
Yeah, we're just generalizing. I mean, that's completely normal.
I feel like some furries, like I again, not speaking for all of them, but from what I've read, what I've seen, they don't feel comfortable in their own skin for whatever reason. Like maybe they were bullied, or they have like self-esteem issues, or anxiety, or something like that.
Or
So
mental health.
yeah, stuff like
I'm not
that.
saying all furries are mental.
Again, yeah,
There are some.
Yeah, of course.
And you know who you are.
Every community has a mental. I mean,
we have Tom, so like
it's in for example this is a strange way of putting it, but you have these very very right wing, I guess, conservatives, who are also parts of like these hidden Nazi communities. That doesn't mean every right wing conservative extremist is a Nazi, but some of them are.
Hmm.
It's like I don't think we can generalize here, but we can talk about what everyone thinks, because that's what I mean. We are everyone, aren't we?
Yeah, we are everyone. We speak for the human race here.
Of course, that's why we're doing this. Like, topic of the
Hmm.
day: the human race versus furries, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how have we only thought of that name now?
Jeez. We should already rebrand to, instead of calling it topic of the day, we should just call it
Mid-podcast.
the human race versus,
Mid
and then
first
the topic.
episode.
I see. Like furries. Yeah, I feel like there's a great deal of anonymity involved, and the whole being someone else thing, hiding your true identity. I can see why that would appeal to a lot of them.
Mm.
But I don't know. It's like the orgies of the modern day, you know. Like it's kind of like turning up in a mask, having anonymous sex with somebody you will never see again in your life, and then like fucking off home.
It's a get out of jail
Except
free
you're doing
card.
it. Yeah, except you're doing it dressed as an animal, and I don't know. Like the thing is about furry sex. One thing that I'm curious about. Well, I'd honestly rather not know is, do they find out the genders? Like when do they find out the actual gender of the person?
Do
You
they
get me?
care?
Maybe there's just an inherent trust thing because they're closed off and stuff.
Like
Because it's so closed off, you expect everyone to be quite like-minded, and so they won't. They won't be dicks about it. Maybe they just don't care. Some of them.
I mean, it's all about the persona, isn't it? That's like part of the point.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not about who you are on the inside of the suit. It's about
It's
who
not
you
about
are.
Okay,
man
maybe their
meets
personas
man,
don't
or
care.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's not all that about, man meets man or man meets woman, but it's like fur boy meets fur girl, and if fur girl wants to have it in the ass, then you just give it to her there, and don't really think about, is that because she doesn't have a vagina? You know, they
So,
could.
do they take the suits off?
No, I don't think so.
That's a good question.
Or
I'll
maybe
be
they
honest,
do.
I haven't
Do
researched.
they have like a little
that.
hatch? Or something?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I haven't researched that area.
The only
Being a furry.
the only thing I can think of in that sense is actually from an episode of Entourage, where Turtle puts on a fursuit to go and have sex with this beautiful girl that's also wearing a fursuit, and it doesn't seem like they take their clothes off in that scene, but that could just be, for cinematics. They don't
Yeah,
really
I don't
show
think
off
Entourage
any
is
nudity,
I'm gonna go on a limb and say Entourage is not scientific.
I don't know.
I'm
Furries,
telling
if
you, this
you're-
is the only reference I have.
Furries, if you're listening to this, please
Like, comment, and
tell
subscribe.
us.
I.
Do you take the fursuits off to have sex?
My guess is no.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm
that's
gonna
that's a
say
fu-
no,
that's a
'cause
fun
otherwise,
thing.
what's the
It's
point in the fursuit as a sexual kink?
I mean,
you know?
maybe to meet them and picture it during. I mean, it might be. We don't know.
Like,
but it's also like some of these people wear clothes on top of their fursuits and some don't.
Oh
It's,
man,
that's
it's weird because that means the ones that don't are naked as well, which it just raises a whole bunch of new
do you think
questions.
do you think they're all naked under the fursuits? Like, do they all go?
I mean, you'd be
commando?
boiling at the least, so you might not
Innit?
want to wear
It's
yeah,
clothes.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
In a
But
Yeah,
stuffy hotel convention center in like Southwest
with
Louisiana.
thousands of other like shut
Midsummer, so it's just like
Yeah, you'd
completely
probably
humid.
do it in summer, wouldn't you?
oh,
It's so
Jesus.
humid.
Oh, like
And
the
then you
only
get, like,
But it's I think maybe they are not clothes. They don't wear clothes under, but underwear optional maybe.
oh maybe yeah. That makes you know what, you figured it out.
Do you think the furry community has like rules and social trends that they follow within themselves, like some kind of cues? Like, you know how the gay community developed like certain
Calling each other bitch and stuff like that.
No. I mean, like the old gay community developed.
Oh, sorry.
like special hand signs and special code words. Like there was a friend of Dorothy, I think was one of them. Like if you say
Yeah,
you're a friend of Dorothy, that
that's
means you're gay. Do you think
Yeah.
the furry community has shit like that? And if so,
I'm a
please
friend
do
of
tell
Evan
us
Claus.
because a friend of Toto's.
I do have a
That
tail at home.
works way too well.
There you go, furries. You can have that one. Like,
Friend of Toto's. That's good.
Friend of Toto's. Yeah, I like that. But it's I guess they have some way of recognizing each other. Maybe it's just
Yeah,
this like
smell.
smell.
The,
They smell each other. That's how they
Sense
do
of
it.
smell is how
could
you...
it be the fursuits? Do you think they could play a part in it?
I have a question about the fursuits. Why is it always bright blue and stuff? Why is it never just a normal color for an animal?
I
Is
think
it to avoid them looking like real animals?
I think
I mean, it's
it's
the anthropomorphic animals, isn't it? It's like the animals from like.
Yeah, but if animals were walking on
TV
two legs and talking,
videos.
they wouldn't suddenly turn blue.
I feel like it's supposed to be cartoonish. It's supposed to be like
Yeah,
fun and vibrant, and that's why they choose like some choose very
But it takes a dark
strange.
turn.
Thank you, Tom. But it's more like I feel like it's more about expressing yourself. It's the same as choosing an animal. Maybe it's more of a spirit animal thing where you want to have the characteristics. You want to have the characteristics of that animal.
I take on the
Potential
powers
ties
of an
between-
anthropomorphic blue dog.
Potential ties between the Native American community and the furry community.
Jesus. Yeah, that's what I meant. Please don't take that out of context. But I feel like it's more about if you want to show that yes, I'm a very loyal person, then maybe you will go with the dog who are known to be loyal to their masters.
That might actually, you know what?
I hope there's shit like that. Like if you're a fox, you're
foxes
showing
are
that
sly.
you're cunning.
Yeah, foxes are sly, and monkeys are fun, and
What's the point of
wolves
being a
are
monkey
ferocious. I don't know.
You are without the suit a monkey furry.
Does it symbolize? Could you just be a hairy guy? Like
Yeah, that's a
hairy
Sasquatch
guy,
costume.
like maybe like stick on a tail, you know?
Is there like a subsect of the furry community that are cryptids? Like, there's a Mothman furry
I mean,
who only shows up when it's going bad.
I mean,
When like a furry
cryptozoology.
convention's about to catch fire.
Cryptozoology comes into play, doesn't it? I mean, there are unicorn fursuits and stuff like that, aren't there?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm just asking.
I would assume maybe some of them think they'd like to be unicorns, so dress up as unicorns.
Yeah.
What about
Like,
the ties?
it makes sense.
Somebody wants to be a
What?
manticore, so they'll dress as a manticore.
That is okay.
That is a weird one. Yeah, like what about the ties between the furry community and the otherkin community? Do you think?
I don't think there's any connection directly. I think some
mean-
some other kin are furries, but I don't think furries
Are they not
other
similar?
They are similar, definitely, in like their,
I always thought otherkin was just a furry, but you weren't an animal.
No,
'cause
otherkin
some otherkin
is-
are like dogs and shit.
No,
What?
other kin isn't other kin. You are human, but you instead of identifying as a different gender, you identify as different species.
I mean,
It's
is
like
that-
I am
that's what it
I am a
was, yeah.
wolf born in a human's body, for example.
Oh,
Then you get otherkin who believe they're like dragons and they have the soul of dragons from like a planet in fucking.
like I nearly
Yeah,
had
yeah,
my wings on
Scientologists.
show today.
Like,
I'm an
when you
alien
wrap your
trapped in a
arms
human
around
shell.
I will
that's
unleash him.
essentially
I
shit
will
like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Otherkin wind me up because they
this
want the
isn't
same
even my
respect as-
final form. Oh god.
And this is to go.
I mean, otherkin wind me
Yeah.
up because they want the same respect as like trans people and that, and it's just not. It's not on the same. It's not the same thing as trans. Like, I'm sorry, otherkin, but you're not
You're
like.
gonna start World War III if you continue down this path.
What, I'm gonna start beef with the otherkin community.
Yeah, you're going to be shocked at how many people are otherkin.
I
Fucking President
Literally.
Assad.
what? But it's
President Assad, favorite otherkin, famous otherkin.
I see.
He's
No,
actually a horsekin.
I don't know anything about otherkin, to be fair. I just thought I knew the definition of otherkin, but apparently I don't.
It's a shame we can't Google things.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's
I mean, I
really
just
it's really
feel like-
tough. trying to.
This self-imposed rule.
I feel like there's got to be an overlap there.
Oh yeah,
There
I'm
probably is.
definitely
Is
is.
furry just the idea of putting on the fursuit, and you could be an otherkin, but if you put on like a dragon fursuit or scale suit, I guess, you are then a furry.
No, it's like I said. I think it is. I think it's more
As
about
well.
fantasy fulfilling, and so it's not just putting on a fursuit and being an animal. It's also about expressing yourself with complete anonymity. You know, like
What
I
if
said,
you
for
were a
example,
dragon
cross-dressing,
otherkin?
or in this case, being otherkin and not feeling like you should come out to the world about it. I mean, a lot of people have trouble getting out of the closet. And I'm not talking about the gay closet here. I'm talking about all the other closets that are lined up beside it.
I mean,
So
but
young
surely it's
people
easier to
don't
come
take
out.
our advice here, because we are terrible human beings. That's kind of part of this. Part of this furry. Part of this topic of the day thing is that we just talk about whatever. We've been really good at staying on topic though. I'm very proud of us.
I told you, there's a lot of
We've
meat
done
to
very
this
well.
topic.
Yeah, there is, but
Got some other ones in the list that
that we will have
Not so
a much
much.
harder time talking about. No, but I
don't
think
know.
yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, if you were an otherkin, if you were like a dragon otherkin, yeah,
Yeah.
you're an otherkin who believes he's a dragon, yeah,
Hmm.
is a dragon. Go on.
who is a dragon because otherkin are obviously right. Then would you go if you went to like a furry convention dressed as a wolf? What would that make you?
A furry and an otherkin.
Yeah, I would say the same. I think you can have more than one kink. I think most people do.
Maybe they're schizophrenic or something,
Multiple personality.
or both.
But I mean, it's like most people have a fetish or a kink in some way, and most of them are very common, but also something you don't talk about because you don't talk about people like that, or you don't discuss it with your friends. Like, oh yeah, this is what really turns me on. It's going to be a very awkward conversation with your mates. But
To be fair, that tends to be pretty awkward anyway.
I mean, I haven't told you guys that I'm a furry yet, so
oh,
I look forward to seeing what happens when I tell you guys that.
If you are a furry, where do you get the fursuit? Like, do they make it? Because like a lot of them look the same. You know.
I actually skin actual animals for it.
But you know what I mean? Like, it seems all the dog ones look the same, but with different colors.
Yeah, how do they? There's got to be.
It
You
must be.
think
Is there like a
furries, like-
brand?
yeah,
Is
of
there like a
course
Louis
there is.
Vuitton but for fursuits?
Oh, of course there is. I mean, if you can sell it, there's a market for it. Because if people want to buy, you will be able to sell it. And some people are really good costume designers, and it's in many cases they don't seem too elaborate. It's basically a one piece with a mask, and I'm pretty sure you can mass produce it without any problem. So
They're popular enough to be mass produced, though.
well, if there are
not
if
be
there
on
are
a
three
tape
if there are
and shit,
three
like-
companies doing it, then yeah, sure they can have. It doesn't really run out. It's not.
Guys.
It doesn't go out of out of date or anything. You can just store it. You can you can produce 50 suits and just have them on a shelf somewhere, and then you just need to.
But would they not need? I assume it'd be like you can pick your colors.
Yeah, sure, but they'll
'Cause-
probably have more than one color as well.
I feel like a lot of furries, from what I've heard, take pride in making their own suits. It's like
Sure.
cosplayers, who make their own
But they're
cosplay
cosplaying
from
as
scratch.
like non-existent characters.
as like characters they've created as their
Yeah.
persona. Also, like, how many do you think have like multiple personas? How does that work?
Maybe they have multiple like character concepts essentially, but they only actually use the one.
I mean, it could be like, or it could be. It for many, it's probably being, having a bit of roleplay.
Yeah, maybe they're like personas. One of them has been killed off.
Yeah, maybe they have these elaborate backgrounds and stuff
Yeah,
like
they
that
might.
as well.
They might have. We don't know. They could.
Wait, so hold on.
They could have these really complex fucking fights and duels,
So
and then
hold
the
on.
persona dies, and then you have to get a new persona.
So you're saying everybody who plays D&D is a furry?
Oh no,
I
that's
think we've hit the
that's
nail on the
that's
head there,
that's
lads.
taking
Good
it.
job, Tom.
That's very really far. Like that's a stretch,
Yeah,
man. It's a
they're
stretch.
They're otherkin because they're not dressing up in fursuits.
So Tom, I can quote you on everywhere. Just you saying, everybody who plays D&D is an otherkin / furry.
You can quote me doing that. Yeah.
It's. I feel like we are getting off topic now. Conclusions. Tom, got a conclusion?
I'm still against it, but it's because I don't understand it and I'm scared.
Yeah, people fear what they don't understand. It's like being afraid of the dark. Brandon?
Yeah. I'm fine with it. I got no real issue. Just please stay away from me. I don't. Yeah, I want no part in it.
And
But more power to you. Fair play.
yeah, for me, it's the same as before. I have a very live and let live attitude towards it. I like discussing things, so that's why I say stuff and do stuff. And please don't take this to heart, anyone who's listening.
All of the no one.
All of the no ones who are listening, please.
All of the one person whose son was across this and switched off as quickly as possible.
All of my boss at work who they let slip that I did this and now he's got to listen to it.
We should just these are our opinions, and we should just state that right away so nobody takes offense to this.
Nothing we have said today is fact. Nothing.
I wouldn't go that far, but I will say that it's our own opinions based on our own
as
knowledge.
you know,
we don't
like-
Google stuff, as we said earlier.
This is all
Based on our
we-
knowledge.
Knowledge,
as you
which
know,
could be
we-
wrong.
We're
We
We're
speak
not.
for the
British.
entire human race. So,
we speak for the entire human race, but unfortunately we're thick as shit.
Yeah, that is true.
Like,
All right.
we spent like 10 minutes, it felt like, talking about whether otherkin and furries were the same. And if we had just not said, try not to Google things, we'd know.
we came to no
That is true.
conclusions on that whatsoever.
So,
I think you can be both.
as per usual, we have no actual conclusion. We've just discussed stuff for like 35-40 minutes.
Did we even explain the concept for the podcast?
Yeah, I think we did. If not, then yes, we
If we didn't, like, comment, and subscribe.
yeah.
Or whatever media we decide to upload this on.
I
we
think
can,
this is going up on YouTube. That would be the best.
Okay, like,
Media
comment,
for-
and subscribe. Please report for.
Don't promote them more.
No,
That's
please don't report.
no.
Please share this to all your furry friends. If we start a beef with the furry community, maybe we'll get more views.
No, don't do that. Yeah. So, topic of the day, we talk about random shit for some time. We don't Google stuff. We just pick them from a list.
Yeah, we've got a list of random topics. We each pick one, and then a random number generate it.
We could
Today, Brandon got furries.
If you wanna add to this list, then please just put it in the comments, and we'll
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's
Yeah.
just make this open territory. What a great idea. That's not going to go wrong. Next week, we'll be talking about race relations in the US. Tune in.
All right. Final words. I'm just gonna say goodbye. The rest of you.
Goodbye, friends.
Bye.
Bye.